Guys, good Wednesday afternoon. I'm Jerry Miller, and welcome to What's Barking Local. Thank you kindly for joining us. We have a Central Virginia-wide audience, frankly, a worldwide audience on social media. And this program is the positive water cooler of everything cool in our animal community here in Central Virginia. It's presented by Animal Connection. 21 years in September.
Woo-hoo.
This brand and business has proudly served the community. The brainchild, the vision, and the hard work of the always smiling, even when she's sick, Pattie Zeller. Two-shot with Pattie Z first. Last time you were here, you were such a trooper. You heard Emily Swecker was going to join us on What's Barking Local.
Yep.
You're like, darn it, I'm going to show up for the show.
I had to rally.
And then you headed straight for, was it the Doc in the Box?
No, the UVA ER.
This literally happened last Wednesday. Seriously.
So, yeah.
This is the influence of Emily Swecker on the program here. Are you feeling better, Pattie Z?
Yes, I'm getting better. I got another week or so before I'm going to be up to full racing speed. So
we did learn while you were on the DL that the team is strong, though, at Animal Connection.
Oh, my gosh. My team at the store could not have been better. I mean, they rallied, they took care of things. I had not one single complaint or anything I would have changed. They were just great. Just great. So, very thankful.
And speaking of good people and team, as we go to the studio camera, we have the Director of Communications, Emily Swecker, in the house.
Yes.
We also have the owner of Lead the Way Canine Training,
Yeah.
Heather Travis, in the house as well. Ladies, how are you?
Doing well. Happy to be here.
Happy to be here again, yeah.
It's great to have you guys. We know Emily. Heather, most of us know you as well, but for the few that don't, introduce yourself to everybody that's watching.
Okay, well, I'm Heather Travis, and I own Lead the Way Canine Training. It's a dog training company that serves the greater Albemarle County and kind of everywhere within reasonable driving distance outside of that. Yeah, dogs and puppies of all ages, all breeds. Yeah. That's what we do.
Lead the Way Canine Training, Pattie Z.
All dogs, all the time.
Heather's put together a great team, and you have how many trainers are working with you now? You've really started growing.
Yeah, so we have. I have to think about this. We've got two on kind of the DL. One's on maternity leave, but she's coming back, and we're really excited about that. No pressure though. And
Maggie, hurry up.
We have our other.
Love Maggie.
Love Maggie. Miss you.
Come back soon.
Please come back.
Yeah.
The dogs miss you. And then we have another, Veronica, who just walked for her doctorate at UVA, and so she's taken a year off to do her postdoc work, and then we're really hoping she'll be back as well. And it's exciting.
Lead the Way Canine
We have a doctor
Training
dog trainer now.
Has PhD trainers.
Yeah.
Dang, girl.
Only the best.
Dr. Dog.
Only the best for Charlottesville dogs, guys.
Lead the way, making moves over here,
I
Pattie
like
Z.
that.
And then we have
what.
Chris, of course, who's been here through the whole time of the pandemic, and he's great, and will continue to be one of our full-time trainers. We have a couple of new ladies we just added to the team. One of them, Sydney, also a UVA grad, and has some background in vet medicine before doing some medical work she works at the ER as a ER tech at UVA, so lots of UVA alum and grads here. And then Elaine, who we couldn't be more excited to add to our team, has, decades of experience.
International experience.
Yeah. She was in Germany for 20 years doing really cool stuff over there, and she's a really strong background in competitive dog sports and, puppy raising and that kind of cool stuff. Oh, I
it's all happening.
She's such a cool lady to talk to. I just love hanging out with her, and she's great with the dogs and the clients. So yeah, some new faces you might see at Lead the Way. Yeah, we're really excited.
So we have a trainer with a PhD, a trainer that is a globe-trotting cosmopolitan on Lead the Way, a trainer that's a mom-to-be.
She's also a psychologist.
Oh my gosh.
She is a mom.
Yeah.
She is a mom.
Yeah, we have our new mom.
Yeah.
I love it. Why don't we get Emily Swecker into the mix, the Director of Communications at the SPCA.
Exactly.
With so much going on, Emily Swecker, like always at the SPCA.
Always a lot going on, yes.
Tell us, where do you want to begin?
Talk about. Well, let's start while we have Pattie here. We'll talk about our event together this weekend.
Are you excited? I'm excited.
We're excited, and our dogs are excited.
Have you been practicing your hula?
Emily, you're hooling. Okay, I'm always trying to get you to do something.
I just found out, Pattie, maybe our dog. I think they would rather see our dogs hula.
Well,
maybe we can teach them. Maybe we can train them to jump through the hula hoop.
Okay.
No, this is like hula dance
with the PhD trainer.
Yeah.
No, we were at the dollar store this morning. We have got lays. We've got grass skirts. We've got
Yes.
flamingos. We are ready.
Yeah, so it's a tiki-themed adoption event this weekend. It's going to be Saturday at Animal Connection. We're starting an hour earlier than we usually do, so at 9 in the morning, and
Yeah.
we will be there until 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
And Pattie will supply most of the entertainment. We will supply the
Imagine that.
adoptable dogs. So if you have been interested in meeting some of our adoptable dogs, that would be a great opportunity.
Yeah, we've got lots of pictures that you very nicely brought last week of dogs that are available. I mean, just a smattering of them, but there are 24 pictures in our windows right now, and you can look at those, and maybe some of those dogs will be here this weekend. And there's some pictures of cats, too, because we don't want to forget the kitties.
Yes.
But the plan is the SPCA volunteers will be here with dogs. A caravan will be in front of the store. You can get information, you can ask questions, you can, if you can adopt, you can ask about fostering or maybe doing Fido field trips. What can your dogs expect when you're visiting? We have a froyo bar with toppings. Woo! Yeah, it's going to be free frozen treats for the dogs, and we are going to have a few hula dancing challenges, maybe for dogs and maybe for humans. We're going to see how it goes.
It's going to be fun.
You're recruiting hard over there, Pattie Z.
I know,
I like
I know. I'm throwing down the challenge.
that. Heather Travis, will we see lead the way at this event?
We have a pack walk, but I probably can find some time to swing by and watch some hula-ing dogs. I don't know, what's the verbiage of that? Dogs doing hula?
Dogs at hula?
That
Hula
sounds like
house.
a don't miss event.
Is there a verb for hulaing?
Hula-ing?
Hulaing? Is it hulaing? Emily, is that right?
Hula
Hulaing?
hooping.
Hula hooping. Oh, Emily Swecker. Very nice.
Yeah.
Judah Wickower is in the ear right now in the earpiece, and he's like, Jerry, let's reel this in.
All right.
And let's go to the dogs. We're going to start with Duke. Is that what we're starting
Yeah,
with?
let's look
Let's
at
start
some
with
dogs.
Duke. Yes, he is stunning. He's so beautiful. He's about 7 years old, and he recently arrived at the shelter. He is a German Shepherd. He's about 80 pounds, so if you're into big dogs, more to love, Duke would be great. And he just lives up to the description of a gentle giant. He walks beautifully on a leash. He's been getting along with the other dogs at the shelter during playgroup when we let him outside, and he is available for adoption.
Do you need another dog? Do you want a Duke?
Don't tempt me, Jerry.
Yeah? Okay. I'm
You're a
sorry.
bad influence.
I am a bad influence. That's what my wife says as well. Duke is a German Shepherd that needs a home, and if you are unable to adopt, foster or take Duke for a walk and watch Duke smile and be eternally happy.
There you
Yes.
go.
Another one that's going to be eternally happy if you foster or adopt is the dog's name John B?
John
Is
B.
it John B? Is that right?
That's his
That's
name,
so
yes.
funny.
Okay,
My
John B.
ex-husband's name is John B. So I kind of had to laugh at that.
Can I ask the significance of John B, Emily Swecker?
We don't know. We don't know.
John
the clinic
B.
named him, so we're just going to go with it.
Okay.
It kind of fits him, though. John B.
John B's good. John
Yeah.
B needs a home.
So John B is about a year old, and he is just the sweetest dog we have probably ever met. He's very
Wow.
calm. He mostly just wants to lay around with you. He was really, really shy when he came to the shelter, but every day we've seen him coming out of his shell, and he is really starting to crave human attention and seems to enjoy meeting some of the dogs that he is around. So John B has a ton of potential. He's very sweet, very beautiful, and he's a pretty medium-sized dog. So if you're not looking for something small or something big, he is the perfect in-between.
Nice. He's not a very big dog, is he?
He's not, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and he kind of likes laying on your lap, so instead of an 80-pound lap dog, he's like a 40-ish pound lap dog.
There you go. Medium size.
What is,
Yes.
let's get Heather in the mix. What is the easiest breeds of dogs
Oh, gosh.
to train? And I'm holding you accountable here.
Okay.
The most difficult ones to train.
So it's the same answer for both questions in the sense that it comes down to generally motivation, right? So obviously there's breeds that are less known for being obedience champions of the world and dogs that are more commonly known for being really easy to train, like the poodles and border collies and those kind of things. But a dog that's really motivated, likes people, likes interaction, a little bit of a food hound, maybe he loves toys and play, you can teach that dog pretty much anything. And on the flip side, a dog who's not motivated they're not super food driven. Maybe they were stray for so long that they don't really interact with people the same way, right? I kind of call that stray dog syndrome, right? Where they're very independent and kind of don't need, the attention from people as much. Or a dog that is, has some behavioral anxiety or something like that, where they're too nervous to interact, or, they don't want to be pet, they don't want food. Those are the guys that take a little bit longer and can be a little bit tougher to train.
Do you get the question often from families looking to adopt dogs, is this a breed or a type of animal that will fit well with this household?
I wish I got that question more.
You wish you got more.
Because usually it's, hey, we got this dog. And I was like, oh
Save
gosh,
us.
I wish you'd asked that question like a month before you got the dog.
Gosh, no kidding.
A lot of people tend to get dogs based on either they had one a while ago and this one is completely different, but they thought it would be very similar, and they tend to kind of compare them. Or, hey, we really love the look of this dog, but like their lifestyle does not really provide a good fit for them. So that's a good question to ask yourself, or a trainer or a dog person in your life. Like, hey, do you think that this dog might be a good fit for our lifestyle in our home?
What's the advice you give, say, someone who works in the communications field, is around animals all the time, loves to adopt animals and rescues them, and may have one too many dogs at home? That may be Emily Swecker, I don't know. Would you give her any advice, Heather?
Toxic trait is that she adopts animals.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing, right? She saves animals' lives. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
How is your pack doing, Emily Swecker?
They're good. They're doing really well.
Yeah, is it 3?
2.
Two
for
dogs,
now.
including a
Yeah.
Chihuahua.
For now.
Yeah, including my Chihuahua that could use some training, if we're being honest.
Do we have a Chihuahua on the list?
We do.
Yeah, ZD is a little mix. He's
Okay.
probably got some Chihuahua in him because he's only 16 pounds and he is full grown. He's about a year old. So he is very sweet if you're looking for a small dog.
A pocket puppy.
I know. He's
So
so
cute.
cute.
Yeah.
The ears
So-
are what draw
I
me to
know.
dogs.
So ZD has been in a foster home and he is doing extremely well. His foster says he loves to be near humans. He does not stray far. When he gets excited, he does this really cute thing where he taps his feet and wags his tail. And they said sometimes he gets zoomies, but mostly loves laying on his bed. So we're talking about lap dogs, and ZD is a small lap dog.
He's real cute.
There's another,
He's so cute.
another place where you need to decide what you want to do. Because last
Yep.
week we had dogs that you were calling them, what is it, lap hippos?
Yes.
Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
We had a
visual,
little pity
people.
that, we call
Right?
lap hippos. So.
That's a great
Lap
description.
hippos.
Oh, I love that term. Lap
We get them in
Yeah.
all shapes and sizes. So whatever you're
Yeah.
looking for, we have big dogs that love to go hiking. We have small dogs that like laying on the couch. So
And that's why we love the
Yeah.
SPCA. They do not discriminate. And speaking of that, cats, Heath is on the list.
yes, Heath is also on our list. So he is about 1 year old, and he is just a love bug. Not much seems to bother him. He loves to be pet, and surprisingly, even loves belly rubs. He is in a foster home with another cat and really seems to enjoy being around them, and he also seems to not mind dogs. So if you have other animals in your home, Heath would be a great addition, whether they be cats or dogs.
Nice. I kind of like this Lucy and Rue
Yes.
pair. I mean, are they a pair that have to go together?
They are a bonded pair, so
Okay.
it's a 2-for-1 kind of package. And the great
Buy
thing
one,
about
get one
them is they complement each other. So they have very different personalities. So Lucy is really calm. She likes to curl up and cuddle with you. Meanwhile, Rue is very active and playful. So you get the best of both worlds when you adopt them both.
We have comments coming in. First, Scott Aaronworth is watching in Virginia Beach. He's the attorney who watches our shows. We'll also give
Foodie
some
extraordinaire.
props. Oh, the biggest foodie in Charlottesville is an attorney in Virginia Beach.
Yeah,
He comes for 4-day benders like once a month in Charlottesville, and all he does is eat and go to, how do I say this?
Peloton.
Pervello?
But yeah, Pervillo, yeah.
Pervillo, yeah. Julie Ballwan's giving us some props. Espinal giving us some props. And then Grayson, a question for Heather. Homes with cats already in the mix, how much more challenging is it to bring a dog into the house after the cat has claimed the home as its domain?
Really is going to depend on the dog, right? So, a dog that is maybe a little bit more easygoing, lower prey drive, maybe has a history of being around cats previously. That would be a dog that probably is going to make a smoother transition. But just like any pet, when you're introducing them to a home that already has an established, whether it's a cat or another dog, there's a transition period, and you kind of have to structure that accordingly so that you can help them be successful.
Should you go cat first or dog first? Or does it matter?
I don't know. I don't know that it matters.
Okay.
The temperament of both. So if you have a cat that's really skittish and runs, then you probably don't want to bring in a dog after
likes
that's
to
really
chase.
Yeah. So a dog that has high prey drive or chase, or they think that the little cat is a squeaky toy. Like probably that's not going to be a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
But like I have an older cat and she's been around a lot of dogs, but she stands her ground and she'll like smack a dog if it gets in her face. And so they learn real quick. Don't mess with the little gray doggo is what we call her. And so it really just comes down to the individual personalities and what do you think is going to best complement, what you already have, and if what you're looking for is going to be a good fit.
Esfini Espinal just sent 99 stars to the SPCA page for this show.
All
and
right.
How well it's going right here. And then there's a follow-up question for Emily from Stacy. What helps or allows you guys to determine that cats should be adopted in pairs? Good question.
That's a really
That's a great
good
question.
So it does depend. I know in Lucy and Rue's case, they were transferred from a neighboring shelter that we rescue from. And we do ask, because it is harder to adopt out cats that are bonded, because sometimes people just want one cat. And so we always like to do our due diligence and see if they are necessarily bonded. In this case, they had a history where they were separated and they started declining. So that's usually the first way we can tell. We see that in a pair of kittens that we have at the shelter, 2 NyQuil and Alka-Seltzer. One has some more severe medical concerns, and so we tried to place another one in foster, and the other one started declining. So that's really a good indicator that they should be together, is they're extremely happy together, they get along really well, and then when they're separated, they are sad and upset, and you can kind of tell a difference in their either medical or emotional health.
How much more challenging is it to adopt 2 cats at once?
I don't know personally, as I haven't adopted 2, but we see a lot of people who come in looking for 2 cats because they want them to have friends.
Yeah.
So even if they're not bonded, we'll see very often they get 1 cat and then they find, whether it be at that appointment that day or they come back a week later and they're like, my cat wants a friend. So
Yeah.
in this case, you already know these 2 get along well, and so you kind of overcome that.
Then you got to figure out where you
Period.
fit in their mix.
Yes, right.
Right?
You already know they love each other. You just have to win them over yourself. So
That's right. I have a question for Heather.
Yes,
So Heather, if you have a potential client coming to you that, I know I want to train a dog whenever I get a dog, what am I looking for? I mean, how do you look at someone or talk to someone and tell them maybe what kind of dog would be best for them if they're going to a shelter to look?
Oh, that's a good question. So things to think about. I think you have to be really honest about what are your expectations. Like, what do you actually want to do with that dog? Are you looking for, a 5K buddy, or are you looking for like a couch snuggle partner, right? Do you have kids, and do you need that dog to be okay not only around your kids, but all their friends, right? Kids come in packs. They generally kind of attract other children to come to the house. So things like that. What's your energy level? Generally, it's recommended that you, get a dog that is a lower energy level than yours. A lot of people end up, I'm going to be more active than I think I am. And they're like, so we get the jogging buddy, and they're really more of like a walking daily person. So generally better to go with a lower energy than your own energy, so that you're not trying to like constantly have to keep up with them.
Grooming budget?
Grooming budget is a big one. At this point, I think probably half our business, our clients, is some sort of doodle or poodle mix. And so
They're popular around here.
they're very
They are
popular, and they can
indeed.
be really nice dogs, but they are not low maintenance dogs by any stretch of the imagination. Their grooming needs are substantial
Significant.
and
Yeah.
significant, and not just professionally getting them groomed every 4 to 6 weeks if you want to keep them looking fluffy, right? You also have to groom them a lot at home. And so do you have the time? Do you have the, desire to be brushing something's hair, pretty much every night, So those are things to think in, so shedding, grooming, what's your preference, energy, and then your lifestyle. Are you guys out and about? Do you want a dog that's going to go with you? Or do you want a dog that, you guys live in a quieter area and you just want to hang out with them on the farm? So it just comes down to kind of having a realistic expectation of what you're looking for, and then kind of matching a breed or a dog to that picture.
So the viewers and listeners are loving the panel.
Yeah.
We have a lot of stuff coming in here.
Good.
Matt Morrell and Wiley Martin, hello. Questions for the panel. Pattie, why don't you start, and then Emily, why don't you follow? A little bit of a sad question, but still a question we got to cover regardless. This is from Julie Balwans. We had to put our rescue dog down suddenly 2 weeks ago. We were devastated and we're still grieving. How long do you recommend waiting before bringing another dog into our home? And that's from Julie. We appreciate the vulnerability showed right there, Judy. Do you want to start with that one, Pattie?
Sure. I mean, there's no real answer for that. Sometimes you'll just find something that personality just jives with you. Just keep your eyes open. If you feel like you want to look around, go look around. I mean, you don't have to have anything your first visit. You might just want to see what's out there, but just the right dog or the right cat will find you. I mean, whether you're looking at a shelter situation or wherever you're looking, the right animal you'll have a connection with, and you'll know. That's my holistic little viewpoint there.
What do you think, Emily Swecker?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's tough, and obviously every situation is different, but the way I see it is I like to rescue animals, and I think that if you asked your animal that you rescued that passed away what they would want from you, it would probably be for you to open your home to another animal in need. And so I don't think, like Pattie said, that needs to be, the next day or the next week, but I think you find some people who are like, I could never go through it again, and I think it is probably one of the hardest things you do go through, but I think animals make your life exponentially better, and hopefully they'll help heal the sadness, and so I think, you'll know when it's time.
And then you get a situation like my dog when he died. Of course, the question is, are you going to come back? Are you going to come back as something else? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to come back as something brown. Well, I didn't know it was going to be a horse, but,
Ernie?
Yeah.
Came back as a horse?
Yep.
Reincarnation?
Well, not reincarnated, but yeah, he just...
Wait, is reincarnated he would be coming back as
he
himself?
Could be. I mean, I'm Buddhist, so I kind of believe that things take on different forms. But yeah, I mean, I met this horse that I knew I had known for years. It's just like an old shoe. I was like, okay. And he gave me some signs, which you never know. I mean, you got to go with what feels right.
Erica Renee's watching from Green Dogs Unleashed. Heather, what do you have to offer on this topic here?
So we actually just had to say goodbye to our senior rescue pitty hippopotamus. We call it the potato.
Last month?
About 2 months it's been. And it was really tough. It was real. Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
It's so tough, and especially when they're older, and that was really hard because we kind of went back and forth, like, is it the right time? She's a pity. She was so stoic, right? But we just kind of knew that she was really starting to struggle and go downhill, and we didn't want to get to the point where she was really in pain. So, but it was really tough, right after, I was obviously really upset, and I'm starting to feel a little bit better, and I've gotten, like, her ashes are back with us, and that helps. And Joe just commissioned some artwork based on her that, like, gosh, made my day the other day. But for us personally, we're going to wait.
You got a good man over there.
Yeah, he takes care of me.
He's a pretty good guy.
Yeah.
He's sweet.
I'll say.
And he was heartbroken. But we have another dog. We have an older husky, and so we are going to wait. Our decision is to wait until she's no longer with us to introduce a new dog, because she is not the most welcoming dog to new dogs, especially younger dog energy. So it may come down to, if you have another dog in the household still, do you think they're going to welcome a new fit? Or a lot of people want to get a new puppy when their older dog passes. And how is your older dog going to take to having puppy energy while they're trying to enjoy their senior golden years? So sometimes it comes down to the dynamic that you already have at home. But if it's a single pet household, I really think, it really comes down to when you feel like it's right.
Well, that brings a whole nother conversation, because, I mean, telepathy between animals and humans can be really, really strong if you're open to it. And, just sitting still with your animal and saying, are you open to be another animal house? And, they might ask you, well, what's his job going to be? What's he going to do around here? I'm in charge of all the sunny spots and the greeter or whatever. I mean, they may tell you, like, in no uncertain terms, what is this animal going to do? And they might even have a visual, like, if there was a dog or a cat to come back, what would they look like? And they might send you a visual of some, and that can wake you up a little bit. And just be aware. Be aware of things. Be aware of animals that might stop and look at you in the eye, or a feeling that you get around one of them. Just tune in and be aware.
I like it. More questions coming in for the panel. Margaret Berry asked this question, and perhaps Heather, you may want to start with this one.
Okay.
When are puppies able to hold their bladder long enough to conquer potty training? Depends on the size of the
Part
dog.
of it depends on the size of the dog. So like a Chihuahua who has, an acorn-sized bladder at full grown,
Gonna have to go out often.
they're going to have to go out more often. So a lot of people consider their puppy potty trained when they can hold it long enough for them to get a couple hours and get on a schedule, right? But does that mean that the puppy's going to be able to hold it 8 to 10 hours while you're away at work? No, probably not. So there is an age-appropriate expectation. Generally, the rule of thumb is for every month of age, they can hold it about an hour. So an 8-week-old puppy that, has emptied themselves and didn't just fill themselves back up and they're just kind of hanging out could go about 2 hours. A lot of it depends on their history. So if you're adopting a puppy and they've already been working on potty training with maybe their foster or coming from a breeder, it's going to go a lot smoother than a puppy coming from, a situation where they weren't working on potty training already, right? And again, the size of the puppy. Lab puppies do it a little bit faster than the Chihuahua puppies, and that's to be expected.
What are you doing with your 2 pups there, Emily?
I was going to say, learn that one the hard way because I have a lab and I have a Chihuahua.
Different
and my
experiences,
lab definitely, I felt like after a few weeks, I had rescued her at 8 weeks and she was pretty much potty trained shortly after. We had a routine and Brody, my Chihuahua, had taken quite a bit longer.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just the consistency and not getting upset because it's different.
Yep.
He's a different dog, yet again, has a different size bladder. So we're potty trained now. He's about 6 months. So yeah, it just takes time.
That's pretty good for a Chihuahua.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're
Schedule
ready.
is like the big thing, is
Yeah.
getting them on a schedule so that they know you're going to take them out and it's predictable, and yeah, that makes a big difference.
Getting one ready, trained, and ready to go.
Yeah.
That, if you could just push a button, but it does,
Do you recommend the phrase, the common phrase when you take them out? Like, do your business every time you take them out?
Yeah, once you get them on a schedule, I recommend going to this kind of same area in the yard so that they have kind of a potty spot, and it helps them kind of speed up a little bit as opposed to like wandering the whole acre yard that you might have or something like that. And then, whatever normal verbiage kind of comes out of your mouth, go potty, go pee-pee, do your stuff, hurry up, whatever it is that you would say, right?
Let's go inside.
You can say banana bread. It doesn't matter because they don't know what it means. You just have to be consistent. Every time they start to squat, you say banana bread, good banana bread. They're going to learn that's their go potty signal. So it really doesn't matter what you say. It's just consistent that phrase means this activity and behavior, and you use it consistently.
Heather Travis, I love it.
For God's sakes, would you please get down to business?
Yeah, whatever whatever verbiage kind of comes out of your mouth,
Please.
like, please already just do it, whatever it is.
2 o'clock
But just
in the
say it
frickin'
every
morning.
time, just be consistent with your phrase.
It's 2 in the morning.
This is from Kelsey, a question for Emily. She's watching in the city of Charlottesville. Can you give us the details of the Tiki Party again, please?
Yes, so it will be at Animal Connection on Saturday, and we'll be starting at 9 in the morning. We'll be there until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and we will have as many dogs as we can bring. So usually it's around 4 or 5. We'll have some of our staff members, some volunteers, so a lot of people who know the dogs really well and can answer any questions that you have about them. And we've said this before, but our adoption events are off-site adoption events, which means you can leave with the dog if you find one that you love. So you don't have to go back to the shelter. You don't have to do a bunch of different things. If you fall in love with the dog that you meet there, you do get to take them
Do
home.
all the paperwork right
exciting.
there.
Yeah.
And somebody's
Awesome.
asked before too, why are we doing it so early now? Well, it's hot.
It's hot.
We don't want, we're going to have a tent for the dogs, but
The dogs have
farmers-
fur coats.
Yeah, dogs.
They can only eat so much froyo to cool them down.
Exactly. And the farmers market starts at 8, and we think it's really important for people to see these animals. And so, we want them to be there during the height of all the activity. So that's why. Get up early, come eat breakfast at the farmers market and meet some dogs.
It's a good reason to get up early on a Saturday.
Right.
Heather
Exactly.
Travis, give us some insight into your homeschooling service.
So we're really excited. We're starting a new program. We're calling it our homeschool training program, and kind of how the name implies, we're going to train the dogs at your home. And so 5 days a week, the trainer comes to your house and works with your dog one-on-one, doing a daily training session. And then at the end of each week, of course, the owner and the family gets involved and gets some coaching and training from the trainer so that you can keep up with everything and continue to work on it. So we're really excited to start that program. We have 2-week and 4-week programs available. We have on-leash and off-leash programs available. Great for younger dogs that are just starting out and need a jump start in their training. It's great for newly adopted dogs that maybe don't have the experience and they've never been trained before, and they just need some new life skills and manners. It's great. We're excited.
What are the basic things they're going to learn during this series? And also, what if somebody's saying, well, is an hour and a half long enough? Talk about the time.
Yeah, so the trainer will spend approximately an hour at your house each day because that's about the max before their brains kind of turn to oatmeal. If the dogs get tired mentally, they burn out a lot faster than they physically burn out, and they're learning, and so learning is tiring, and they're using a lot of mental effort to kind of focus. We can do a lot in that hour, and the results that you're going to see are going to be pretty awesome. Great manners, obviously on-leash and off-leash obedience. The things that we tend to teach as kind of our core, what we think most dogs tend to benefit from and most clients are looking for is walking really nice on a leash, right?
Very important.
Don't pull me to go sniff the bush or to bark at, your friend or your neighbor. We work on our sit stays and our down stays, so we can ask them to do those things in our normal day. We like to teach something called a place command, which is really helpful. The dogs tend to love it. We use a lot of food in our training, so it's go to hang out on that cot and food happens. And so that's great for dogs that get excited when guests come over and they jump up all over them, or maybe you have a door darter who you open the door and they're out gallivanting in the neighborhood. Well, we can send them to place and teach them that as a default.
Becky Calvert's dog.
Daisy.
Yeah, the Beagle.
We've worked with quite a few door darters, and recall, right? Getting a dog that you can call their name and tell them to come, and they go, yep, and they get right over to you. That's great.
I love it.
Yeah. Somebody likened it to, kindergartners teachers say, they go, 1, 2, 3, eyes on me. And that's exactly what you're doing, because your dog needs to, you're the most important person in the room when your dog is there.
Yeah, building attention and engagement, and creating a better relationship between you and your dog. That's really obedience training. Like, why do we bother with obedience training? Is we're creating a language and a way for you to communicate, and have conversations with your dog, and you guys are both on the same page and you understand what sit means and down means and all of those other things.
And for the family to see what you're doing, that's really important as far as reinforcing it after the trainer leaves.
That's the buzzword.
The biggest part.
Reinforcement, yep.
Now, we would be remiss not to highlight that the SPCA is hiring. There are a number of open positions, Emily, and for interested parties, caspca.org.
Yes, we have our list of employment opportunities on our website if you're interested, and there are a lot of different positions that you probably wouldn't know we have at the SPCA. Obviously, the ones you would expect, like adoptions coordinators, we're always hiring for those positions. Those are really fun positions. You get to meet the animals, you get to place them in their hopefully forever homes and make really good connections. But we also have other good jobs, foster coordinators, if you're interested in placing them in foster homes, clinic reception. We have a lot of different things in development, so we have all of those on our website.
It's on the website, caspca.org. Pattie Z, anything else you want to highlight?
There's something for everybody to do.
Yes.
No, I think it's going to be a big weekend. I mean, you're launching your new training program, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah,
we're going to have a
very
poster up at Animal Connection and hopefully some flyers that we can pass out soon so you can get information. If people are watching right now, Heather, we have the graphic on screen, I think.
You'll cue it up.
Right? Okay, you can cue it up. Do you still do the survey so people can tell you what they're looking for?
So, so you can go to our website and, we have kind of our our foundational programs there. But we get a lot of people that, their dogs have unique needs or quirky behaviors, and they're not sure what's the best fit or if we're going to be the best fit for them. So they can always send us a contact form, reach out to us through the website. There's a space there that they can tell us what's going on with their dog, any concerns they're having, specific behaviors, or, they're not sure what's going on. And then we will reach back out to them and schedule a time for us to talk in depth about what's going on with their dog, their training goals, their behavior concerns, and what we can do for them.
There's no such thing as too much information.
No,
right?
I love when people fill out the form and give
Yeah.
us a little bit of extra. They'll actually type like a little bit of extra
Right.
detail in there. It's helpful.
And it's a pack walk here. So
we're going to do a pack walk on Saturday. We're going to start at, we meet at K-Tech.
you're gonna be at K-Tech.
Because it's an empty
Okay.
parking lot that we can meet at, and then we can go across the street to that nice paved path next to
Right.
the Ravana. It's wide enough that even if it's busy, we don't have to squeeze by other dogs.
Right.
So it's a nice walk.
Well, watch the calendar, because sometimes you do pack walks around
Where
the
we
X
start at
area
X.
and training classes, so you can watch Heather's calendar, and then
Yep.
you can come and see what's
yeah,
going on.
come watch,
You-
come
you
say
can see
hi,
what's
bring your
happening.
dog,
Yeah.
and we'll chat afterwards. And
Yeah.
The website is leadthewayk9.com. That's the number 9, leadthewayk9.com. Give you props. It's a great website.
Thanks.
There's a lot of content on this website. Very impressive.
It is. There's a lot of information there. We give a lot of our secrets. We don't really have secrets. We give it all away because we
Yeah.
just want to help.
You're an open book. You
Yeah.
just want to help.
Yeah.
Pattie Z, this panel was excellent
It was lots
Very
of good
fluid.
stuff to know, isn't there?
and flowing. Emily, anything we're missing that you want to cover?
Just if you're looking to adopt, please think about us. Keep an eye on our website, keep an eye on our social media. We feature a good bit of our adoptable animals and animals that would love foster homes there. And if you're just looking for some cute content, you can also find it there. So we would just love for you to think about us, and we would love to
TikToks.
add to your family.
SPCA TikToks.
Are they on
Oh,
TikTok?
dude, they're TikTok.
Oh, man.
It is so
hours.
Don't give me more things to do
I
with
know.
my day.
Entertainment for hours.
Yeah.
SPCA may have the best TikTok in Central Virginia, guys. That's no BS. And
That's
Jennifer closes with this. This is the perfect way to close. I love this show. I love how light it is and how much fun you guys have. And I especially enjoy how Pattie's always committed to helping this community and the animals that make us happy.
Thank you so much.
was-
That's really nice.
nice.
Perfect way to finish right there. Judah, great work today.
Thank you,
Per
Judah.
usual. Judah Woodcower, the man behind camera. You see the back of his head when
He
we
can
go
make
to the
it
studio
happen.
camera. You don't, you moved up so you can't see the back of the head?
Oh.
Is that what it is? No, okay. Emily Swecker is the Director of Communications at the SPCA. Heather Travis is the owner of Lead the Way K9 Training. And Pattie Z is the retailista behind Animal Connection and X Park. And together, this was just a dynamite.
That's fun.
What's Barking Local?
Now, there won't be a show next week. I'm going to be, No, I'm going to be flying back from masterminding with other retailers across the country. So I'm going to be out learning some stuff.
So we'll take a
break,
hiatus.
next week.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, we're going to be rocking and rolling with some more events, talking about 4th of July and calming things for dogs. And
Those
we're going to have
fireworks.
Zach from Snows talking about pet-friendly plants. And there's a bunch of good stuff coming up. But next week,
Nice.
I'll be on a plane.
I like it. Next week, take a little bit of respite, and we're back 2 Wednesdays from now with What's Barking Local,
Yes.
presented by Animal Connection. Thank you kindly for joining us. For Judah Woodcower, Pattie Z, Emily Swecker, and Heather Travis, my name is Jerry Miller. Judy, it was our pleasure. Thank you for your heartfelt answers to my sensitive question. Love today's presentation.
Thank you.
From Judy.
Awesome.
Thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Judy.
Great way to end. You guys have a good afternoon. We will see you tomorrow at 10:15 a.m. with Today y Mañana right here on the I Love CVille Network. Take care. Bye-bye. Very nicely done.
Hey, you guys. All right.